Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Jaycee. I'm a full-time scientist, part-time content creator, and card maker from Denver, Colorado. Just had a nice look at what's going on in the chat. We have the lovely Mitzi joining us this evening from the Altenew, behind the Altenew badge, so she'll be helping me out today. So thank you, Mitzi. And yeah, before I keep going, I do have a new microphone. So thank you all for the support. I know I mentioned it last week, so as you can see, there's no lav anywhere on me, and yeah, hopefully this is sounding much better. So yes, did I say Mitzi is on here? Yeah, Mitzi is on here. So yeah, thank you all for joining me again. It's Wednesday, February 18th. It's about 7:30 p.m. my time, my Mountain Standard Time. And yeah, hopefully everything is sounding okay. Can you all please let me know? Sound is crystal clear. Thank you, Carrie. And I'm sending you extra love today. Thank you for joining me. Um, let's see. It sounds much better. Thank goodness. um, but it wouldn't have been possible without the support of you all, because yeah, it was long overdue. I kind of just hoped that I would figure it out and it would get better, but you know, I did a lot of research and we have a better microphone this time. Hopefully when I step away and, you know, step off to the side, it works. But in my tests, it seemed to work just fine. And you get a much more true sounding, this is what I really sound like. So hopefully that's what you're hearing on your end. And yeah, we'll let people still trickle in this evening. We have about 45 in the group so far, so I appreciate it. Still really warm here in Denver. It was a little bit windy yesterday and the day before, so still unusually warm for this time of year. So yes, I hope we have a lot of fun this evening. I planned out a really intricate card, one that it uses products that I've been planning on using for a while now, because yeah, I don't want to go too much into it. I don't want to spoil any little surprises we have going on, but hopefully, let's just make sure. Hello, thank you for joining, and thank you for letting me know that it sounds good. I did a lot of testing beforehand, so I kind of ran to get into my craft room this evening to, you know, not only prepare what we have going on off to the side here, but make sure that this microphone sounds good. And yeah, it is. Hello, Rosie. Yeah, speaking of this, I was walking next to some areas and gardens in the hospital that I work at, and there are some places where I know there are daffodil bulbs. And it's kind of shocking to see them come up this early. Usually for me, daffodils come up late March, but because it's so warm, I think they're coming up a little bit earlier. So, and yes, this is happening as well over in our area. And yes, and that's what I'm planning. We'll be doing some flowers today. It's my favorite thing to do. So, and of course, Altenew's flowers are always one of the best ones. So, yes. Yeah. And on this note, we'll be also doing some paper flowers today as well. So much more ink blending and stuff like that. Let's see. Oh, hi, Mindy. Thank you for joining me. Let's see, what time is it? 7:36. I have a new clock down here. I keep on wanting to look at the computer clock, you know, down in the corner. But anyway, technology things. So, yeah. Okay. While people are still coming in, let's talk about some housekeeping stuff real quick. So, of course, this is the wrong one. Hold on. This is the Altenew live that we've got going on today. So Mitzi, of course, like I mentioned, she's in the clouds, helping me out in the chats. But with today's offer, since it's the Jaycee and Altenew collaboration, is we've got 40% off the Ultimate Ink Tool, Ultimate Ink Blending Tool bundle. So if you use my code Jaycee Live 7, which I'll show larger in the chat, you'll get 40% off this bundle. And so when I did it, I tested it out in a pretend cart, and I added this with the discount code that brings it down to about $50. So what you're seeing here are the 4 mini ink blending tools, the large ink blending brush, a set of the detail blending brushes, which is right here, a set of the micro blending brushes, which have the 10 and the 7s on them. So there's 4 of those, and then the ink blending tool, the small ones. So there's a set of 4 in there. And so I tried it. I wanted to see what other combinations would come up. And if you add 2 of these to your cart, so totaling at about, it's about 107, you get all of this twice, and free shipping if you're in the US. So that code automatically applies. And hopefully I'm not misspeaking on that, but when I tried it just a few minutes ago, that's what ended up happening. So that deal is active now with my code Jaycee Live 7. And yeah, you'll get great savings on that, 40% off. That's from today until starting today as well is 40% off the Solid Sentiments Complete Bundle. So that's the press plate and its coordinating die set, which you see right there. Great sentiment set. I used it. I feel like I used it on a live recently. But it's just a great way to get really quick and easy sentiment strips. And sorry, I just want to make sure that nothing is coming up that I'm misspeaking or something. Okay, good. So 40% off Solid Sentiments Complete Bundle. If you only want one of the blending tool sets, hopefully this still puts you at free shipping. Girl math, I like free shipping. If I can get there, I'll do it. And then this is a current weekly sale that's going on. So Crafty Savings with the weekly sale, and I think I have this page linked in the description box as well. And one of the things that I didn't put a banner for is there are ink pads pictured here, but we just got notification recently that the ink pads, the fresh dye ink pads specifically, will have a price increase starting on February 20th. So if you've been eyeing a set or you have a few on your wish list, the full size ink pads will go up to $9. The re-inkers are going up to $7, and then the mini ink cubes are going up to $16. So generally it's about $1 more for the set of 4, right? I just want to make sure it's the set. It's not per. I think it's just 1. So, of course, you get a discount when you get the set, but per pad, it goes up about $1 more. So, shoot. What happened? I think we're just going to let it lapse. I think the audio gremlins got me. So hopefully we came back. It was just a little pause. I know when a lot of folks experience it, I think it's YouTube. Okay. I don't know where I left off. It was something about the ink pads. Hopefully I'm not repeating too much, but the price of the ink pads are going up. That starts on February 20th. So if you're eyeing some ink pads, I would really recommend getting them if you want to have the previous pricing. So yeah, it sounds like the audio cut out just for a second. The live gremlins, they just have to get us for a second. I'll let it lapse a little bit. I'll get started in a few moments, but that's what's going on. So we have the live discount, which is this one, Live Jaycee 7, which is on the Ultimate Blending Tool Bundle, pictured here. So all of these items that you see around me. And let's see. And yeah, it's a YouTube problem. Yeah, I hope it's just a YouTube problem because I spent a lot of money on this mic. So I don't want it to go bad. And yeah, otherwise, that's all the housekeeping stuff I've got. I'll mention it later for those who joined a little bit later. Um, and I'm glad you mentioned this, Carrie, because Altenew recently compiled a lot of my best, I guess, perfect pairings from throughout the year, and I watched them back as much as I could, and it's crazy because I think I started perfect pairings with Jaycee maybe in late 2019, early 2019, and it's been an exciting journey. You know, like Altenew as a company has evolved, and many more items have been released, and things have gotten easier to layer. New product categories have emerged, like the better press plates, and the keyhole alignment system, of course, the subscription services, the fresh dye ink pad formulas. So I'm just grateful to be part of the journey, and I'm glad that many of you have also checked out perfect pairings with Jaycee since the beginning, because I was just trying to share what I really like the most about being creative and mixed media in general, card making, and things like that. So yes. So hopefully this helps. This person posted. I had to go out and come back in to regain the audio. So hopefully that helps those of you who had a sound blip just for a moment. But hopefully it comes back. And let's see if I can even snag the video while we're talking in the chat. While we have a few moments here. I have a clock right here, Jaycee. I need to stop checking that. I should just put a piece of tape over it. Because it's so small, I can barely see it on my screen, but I have a much larger one right in front of me just to make sure that we're right on time, you know? Ridiculous. Okay. Let's go to the Altenew channel. I just saw it recently. Where did you go? It's this one. Oh, and there's a nice little giveaway if you watch this video as well. Here it is. Did I do that right? Let's get the shareable link. Oh, that is the shareable link. Anyway, okay. Here's the link for you all. It's also... How do I do this? I think I can pin this, right? Look at me knowing technology sometimes. So, anyway, yes. Let's get started on today's project. And like I mentioned earlier with all the discount codes, is I'll be trying to show the array of ink blending brushes today. So if you haven't picked up one or you want to know how one works, you know, please make sure you ask in the chat. Throw a question in front. It helps me see it. I have a lot of screens happening all around me right now, so it'll help me take a look and I'll address it. And we'll pop up your comments so that everybody can see what you're asking, which is so helpful for that. All right, let's get started on here and get rid of my keyboard. So the first thing I will be grabbing, oh goodness gracious, is, before I continue, let's just make sure the audio is still good, right? You can still hear me while I grab things on here. This is new for, this was last month's release, and a lot of these items were from the Secret Garden retreat from I think last year, and it's nice that they finally got released because they were exclusive during that time. And when I made the items for my class, I didn't really get to use the items from the other classes, so now that they're released, I felt like, you know, I can bring them back out and fall in love with the release again as if it was brand new. So this is Ornamental Lantern layering die set. Thank you everybody for confirming on that. Thank you, Leanne. Thank you for joining, by the way. This is the layering die set. Creates this lovely ornamental lantern with some embellishing pieces on here. So really small die set, but I hope this is a great focal point for today's card. And what I've done is I've already cut out a few pieces. Let's get the mouse out of the way real quick. Right here on this tray. And so what I did was I cut one of the base layers, two of the top layers, because I kind of wanted it to be a little thicker, and a few of the rim or embellishing pieces that go around this. But in addition to this, I wanted to, you're going to see the mini ink blending tools a lot. So I have one that I've labeled that's dedicated to the gold family of pigment inks. And what I want to do is take Enchanted Gold pigment ink, which is right here. And where's my Wilbur? On top of my 9x12 sticky matte grid, should come as no surprise. This thing never is too far from me. I want to create like some patina on this. So gonna grab the base layer and just one of the top layers on this and just really create some interesting texture with the blending brush. And I don't know how to describe this, just, you know, distress the surface of this with the pigment ink. And this is Enchanted Gold, like I mentioned. Yes, Bulber has made an appearance. Yep. And this was from Secret Garden. So, and speaking of Secret Garden, I don't know, for those of you who have subscribed to my channel, I did have a post recently where I mentioned that I'll be going live with Altenew earlier next Wednesday. We'll cover that on the schedule towards the end of this live session. But I will be changing up the time I go live next Wednesday. It'll be just a little bit earlier. I'm still unsure if I want to go live again afterwards because there are just so many things that I got sent and that I want to share. Altenew, Conquer the Ninth, and other, you know, Crafty Friend related items that I just haven't been able to showcase in February, and I still would like to showcase them. So we'll see. Like, maybe if I mentally prepare myself that I'm going live for 2 sessions back to back, then I'll most likely do it. And also I have this microphone now, so I'm like so excited that the audio sounds a little bit better. I don't want to jinx myself, but we're gonna stipple this ink with the mini ink blending tool. And for me, it's just the perfect size to build layers, create a patina on this. And then we'll do the same on this one. You won't really see too many of the layers on here, but I still want to deepen certain areas and distress the image. Let's put some on the bottom. Just a little bit. Alrighty. Mini ink blending tool, love these. And if you don't know about the wonderful case that you can get separately, I use them all the time. They live like right next to me because I use them for everything. So I've got quite the collection, admittedly, but it just really helps out with all of the Altenew ink pads and all of that. So it's if I had a top even 3 right selection of crafting products that I had to bring with me, you know, to a deserted island, it would be one of them would be the mini ink blending tools. So, and then I feel like the next one would be my tweezers. So there's that. Let's get this glued while we are sorry, I'm just taking a look at the chat. If only the lives would pay my bills. That's the thing. So, admittedly, we're not there yet. Yes, I'm pretty excited about this. The lav, honestly, I would hit it with my double chin, or I would hit it whenever I turned my neck from side to side. And then when I started taping it to the inside of my shirt, it just felt like something was falling out from underneath my shirt. And I felt like I kept wanting to hit it. So, you know, we're gonna pray for longevity with this microphone. If you're curious, it's the Sennheiser MKE 600. So it's a shotgun microphone. points right at my chest like it's supposed to, and hopefully it doesn't capture any sort of ancillary sound. And I do have an interface. I don't know what to call this, but it was recommended to me that I get this audio interface because it helps translate this audio into much of a richer sound. And yeah, I can control it. If it's too quiet, I can turn up the audio from this interface. But side note on that, it just, yeah, just trying to make it sound a lot better. I feel like as time goes on, I want the quality to go up, you know? Anyway, for those of you who also go live and are looking for audio equipment, this so far, you know, with the pairing of this shotgun mic and the interface that I have, seems to be, we'll see if it even picks up my cats. At about like 8:30, they want to start running on their little cat wheel, so we'll see what happens, and then we'll capture that audio. What else did I want to say about this? So yeah, I'm using some previously exclusive Secret Garden Retreat items. And next week, we'll be getting ready for Secret Garden 2026. And as long as Altenew invites me to do it for them, you know, I'll keep teaching. Because it's one of my favorite retreats. Of course, I think Altenew does some of the best flowers. So teaching them is so effortless. And as of, I think this kit from 2025 was the first time they asked us for our input and what we wanted to teach. So I did have personal input, not on this set. You'll see it on a different one. And yeah, it was just fun to teach product that was specifically catered to things that I was geared towards teaching. That was a strange sentence, but in my head it made sense. And it doesn't. It doesn't have retirement benefits, you know. It is what it is. But I think that's why I enjoy it at this point. Because there's no pressure, right? Yes, my cats have a little cat wheel. Think hamster wheel, but cat-sized. And their favorite times to run on it are when we're sleeping, when I'm overstimulated, and basically there's never a good time for them to run on it, but they just, you know, they got to get their energy out somehow. When they get the zoomies, my goodness. So I'm just going to layer these images together. So easy to match up the outlines. And I think just like layering the two pieces of the top layer help give it just a little bit more dimension. I'm sure we could foam mount the two layers together, but I think it just looks a little bit better this way. So, oh, I lost my live feed. Hold on. Let me go back to that screen. Please. There we go. Okay. So just gluing those two pieces together, and then there are these embellishing pieces. I cut these from Altenew's brushed gold cardstock, and they just like complete the look on here, you know? So I'll add a line of glue on the top. I don't even know what to call this top rim and the bottom rim. And the little ring that goes on top just for some prettiness. Oh my. And I'll put this under an acrylic block once. Yes, I have one of my cat's names is Kit Kat. Here, I'm going to drop in the chat what my cat's names are. It is Kit Kat, Cookie, Grandma, and Crutch. There we go. Those are my 4 cats. Right here. Oh, wrong one. Pin. There we go. And that is from oldest to youngest. Cookie's my only girl. So by default, that makes her the prettiest girl. Oh my, and it looks like, thank you for pointing this out. It's crazy. Like, going live was like, um, really intimidating. I, I talked to, Callie person in person about this, and going live is really intimidating, you know? But there's something that like is so satisfying about going live and having the interaction, because whenever I went live with YouTube or with Altenew for like their classes, it was like a once every year thing. And now that it's become a much more frequent occurrence, like kind of just embrace the technological things that happen. And yeah, it is what it is. Um, it's sorry, I just saw this comment from Amanda about rabbits and their noisiness. It's like every time when you want to do a voiceover, that's when they want to be noisy. So, um, there's the completed lantern. I'm gonna put this under an acrylic block. I don't even know if I have a larger one. It's okay, we'll make it work. That'll do. And yeah, we'll set that off to the side. Again, that was Ornamental Lantern, which is this one right here. Perfect small die set. And then there were some other things that I wanted to bring in, which which is this die set. So this one was also from Altenew Secret Garden Retreat, and it was an exclusive item. And now that it's fully released, it's just fun to use it again. So when I taught Secret Garden Retreat, this was my assigned. I don't want to say assigned because I did have some input in what I wanted to see for the class, and poppies like are some of my favorite flowers to color. I really like the crinkly and roughly texture of them. I think it's like for my coloring style, it's just a nice, I don't know, just flower to use and to color. Um, there was another stamp set that I picked up from the Altenew warehouse, which is, again, I think it was Oriental poppies. Let me just look real quick. I keep putting my keyboard away, but I end up needing it. I'm pretty sure, hopefully it's not discontinued, otherwise I'm gonna feel silly. Poppies. So many poppy sets. There's some of my favorites. What about Poppy? I really hope it's still available. Oh, it is. It's this one. Okay, let me throw it in the chat real quick. Love poppies. Again, they're just so fun to color. I just saw a question. Where did it go? So many screens. So overstimulating. What's your favorite real flower or plant? I love roses. Roses are some of my favorite, like non-craft related flower. In my own garden, I think I counted about 21 varieties, which is, to me, it's not a lot. I think it's not enough. And I just love the smell of roses. Peonies are a close second. They just don't last all year. You know, like peonies, they bloom for 1.5 weeks in early spring, or sorry, late spring, early summer for me, and then they go to sleep. So, yeah. Oh, and that's true over in the California. Um, very nice varieties of wild poppies out there. So, Well, thank you, Wendy. And it's the opposite for me. My blood pressure goes up. So, I'm glad I could help. I'm just kidding. I'm sure it'll get easier going live. It's just so it's different. It's different than pre-recorded content for sure. And it's just hard to embrace that anything can happen. Okay. Ooh. And never enough flowers. Hi, Liz. Yeah. And peonies are your favorite. You know what? In the comments, let me know what your favorite flowers are. Some of you have like really interesting, especially for those of you who are international. Just the different varieties of flowers that you have out there. Because I love to take a look. It's a great place to get inspiration. So, ornamental poppies. This is what I used for Secret Garden last year, and we'll be revamping that this time. And I cut a few pieces as per usual ahead of time. So these are almost all the pieces in the die set. Of course, featuring the innovative keyhole alignment system. And before I throw these on here, let me clean off my sticky mat grid. On here. Okay, let's see what everybody's saying for the flowers on here. Is there a particular flower that is traditional of Lunar New Year? For all of you who are of the horse Chinese zodiac, it's your year, yay. I'm a snake, 1989, so. Apparently it's a good year for me. But I tell you, it's been a rough week, so. Sorry, there's so many questions. Let me throw these on here and we'll. Oh, hibiscus are beautiful too. I like poppies. I love the roughly texture of hibiscus. I have the variety of hibiscus that, you know, they go to sleep during the winter here. Dinner plate hibiscus. That's the word I was looking for. But last year, one of them did not bloom for me. I don't know what happened. Very sad. I don't know if it was just a short-lived plant that I received, but it did not come back. It only bloomed for, I think, 2 years. Anyway, what else do we got going on here? My favorite rose garden? I don't know. Mine. Because I picked them. Let me see. Yes, and this is how I feel too with peonies. They're here and then they're gone, and then they smell beautiful and then they go to sleep. They go to the sunflower, yeah. Michael, text me later. Let me know how my audio is and I'll show you what I got. Let's see what else. Oh, sorry, the chat goes on and on. Ranunculus, story about ranunculus. I tried to grow some last spring. So, you know, you have to soak the corms in water, and long story short, they all molded and I wasted like $105 on that. So, we'll not be doing that again. I tried. I watched so many tutorials on how to get ranunculus, and it did not work for me. Strelitzia, bird of paradise, beautiful. Lily of the valley, beautiful. Oh, so many. Ranunculus as well. Tulips. Agreed. Oh, I see hydrangea. Okay, what's going on here? Oh, begonia. Oh, sorry, this one. Begonia. Beautiful. Amaryllis, narcissa, daffodils. Tempted to look this one up. All right. Okay. Woo. Let's get to ink blending. Oh, let me close this one real quick. So on here, I've got die cut pieces of blush cardstock. And then this is acai berry for the centers of the flowers. And to color these, of course, I'm going to start with my mini ink blending tools and just use some of the colors from the same color family, which is Tea Party. Sorry, lies. Red Sunset. Here's blush cardstock. Blush ink is from Red Sunset. So I'm going to create a base tone starting with Rouge and a mini ink blending tool. Blending this color out. This should be as no surprise if you love watching my tutorials on the Altenew channel, on my channel. Just throwing this in the center to get a base coat of this. Thank you everybody for responding to my favorite flower comment. It's just so fun to see what everybody likes. I pick my roses based on fragrance. For a moment I was stuck on like the red pink color family of roses, and then I really tried to experiment with like a deep purple. So I have the ebb tide variety. I have a few white roses, yellow roses, apricot, orange. Yeah, so many. So many. And we'll see what happens this year. They with the blooming cycles of them. So moving on. I've got crimson now, and we're going to bring in a different set of ink blending tools. These are the detail blending brushes, so they come in sets of 3 in 3 sizes. I'm not sure which one I'm going to use yet, but we're going to just start with, we'll start with the number 7. And these ones are slightly different because they're angled. Maybe you can see it there. It's an angled bristle. And I like this to create like, not so much gradient blends that are more radial. This one's more brush stroke. And I'll show you what I mean here. So I'll pick up crimson. And what I'm doing is just emphasizing and catching the cardstock, creating these feathery strokes right at the tips of the petals, creating contours. And I'm not gonna, I'll admit that I kind of slept on the detail blending brushes. They were just resting in my drawer for a while, and I couldn't, find a way to incorporate them until I tried this technique where, I kind of capture the edges of the die cut and pull that color towards the center. And I found that it just really made that crinkly, like ruffled texture that I love of Poppies. I know last week Betsy Green, she joined us. We also talked garden as well, or we have talked garden as well. And when I planted some poppies last year, she also had the same variety. So nice to hear that. But I'll keep putting crimson just on the tips of these petals. And the nice thing about these dies, especially this one, is that there are debossed areas and lines on here. Which kind of tells me which direction to pull this color in. So here, like the curve is, like that. So I'm trying to mimic that line with my brush. And I feel like it just helps give a little bit more movement to the petals, makes it much more exciting. And then since the detail blending tool is angled, you can take the more finer side, which is down here, and use that instead of the flat side. You can get varying line widths is what I mean. So like that. There's a thinner version there, and then you can see where I have much more thicker applications of the ink. You just get a lot more variety, as if you're watercoloring with ink blending tools. So, where are we? I feel like I have other tutorials. I just don't remember. I've done it quite a few times. Um, so yeah, hopefully, I'm trying to go at a slower pace here. I'm not trying to skip through the movement and motion of these detail blending brushes, but this is what I use them for the majority of the time. Like my hope and dream, you saw my mini ink blending tools, is that I can supplement my detail blending brushes and, you know, have one for each color family. But until we get there, I'll have to keep cleaning these ones in between use. And there we go. Oh, don't want to forget about these. Put a little bit on here. Just kind of, whatever feels good on the tips of these. So that's Crimson with the detail blending brush. I'm going to deepen the centers of these. Some poppy varieties have that really dark bullseye center onto them. So I'll just keep moving down the line of colors of ink. The mini ink blending tools are a little bit too large for coloring the centers on these, and I want a little bit more precision. So just for a size comparison, there is a smaller blending tool, which is the number 7. Looks like this. So the 2 7s and 2 10s are in the micro blending brushes. Lydia, who's also part of the creative team with Altenew and an employee, I guess, she loves using these ones over the mini ink blending tools, and I am the opposite. I love my mini ink blending tools. I still use these for certain applications, stencils, for finer pieces like this, or when I really want to have a little bit more control in how I apply my ink. So I will do that now. Where did I put my other one? We'll use this one. So moving down the line of inks, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to use Andromeda on a different part of this card, but I think I want to marry these two images by using this ink in the center of my poppies to create a different blend and a little bit of an interesting depth to the center of these flowers. So I'm just blending a really slight halo of this to the center. And I feel like we're just going to get like a little bit more of a dramatic blend on here. I think that's it. Let's leave it at that. So yeah, we already covered mini ink blending tools, the micro blending tools, which are these ones, the detail blending brushes, and there are 2 more that we haven't looked at quite yet. But let's get these assembled on here. I haven't figured this out yet, Brenda. For my detailed blending brushes, which are these ones, I kind of just look at the bristle ends and try to stay within that. I just haven't quite figured that out yet, how I want to organize mine. So they're kind of in a bin right now, like a little pencil tray, like this. And I kind of just pick them up as I need them. And usually I keep them in the tubes, but I just haven't gotten a moment to do that yet. And I'm sure, Brenda, like Amanda mentioned here, I'm sure you can do the same thing with the micro and the detail blending brushes, is to wrap some, maybe if you're a Cricut crafter, you can use your vinyl in a coordinating color to wrap around the barrel of the brush. So hopefully that helps. Oh, I just saw it. There we go. Okay. And it looks like Liz also keeps hers in the tubes as well. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for your questions on that. Let's get this assembled. So just following the keyhole alignment system and the layering guide. So that's the keyhole. These are the snowman images down here. The triangle, the up arrow, or the arrow, I should say. And then this one. I get so excited. We get to dilly-dallying about roses and forget that I'm making a card. So going in order from number 1 to the number 2 layer, and I, place these on here intentionally so I could quickly grab all of these layers. And I just love, that really subtle detail right here that you can see from Andromeda in the center and that micro blending brush in the number 10 size. It gives that like extra bit of depth. That's a little bit more interesting, And then we'll grab one of our centers here. Let that dry. Layer up our little snowman layers with its coordinating center. And I'm using a glue that dries tacky. I feel like that really helps me quickly pick up these pieces and get them oriented and laid down where they're supposed to go. On here. Triangle. Beautiful. Oh, we're gonna put this layer down here. Usually I like to dry fit all of these layers so that I have a much better idea of where the ink goes, but sometimes I don't, and that's okay. Here's our little triangle here. And then to cover up the alignment that's in the center of these, that's how we finish off the center of these images. So cover that up with this piece. Oh, I didn't use this one. Oh no, that goes here. Jaycee, come on. Goes right in the center to create more depth. There we go, beautiful. And then this one covers up center there. Oh, forgot about these. Oh no. Oh no, it got stuck to my hand. Okay. Ooh, we had to quickly layer those. Let's see what else. Yeah, whatever works. As I build my collection, I find different ways to layer to label, sorry, my blending tools. So, and that too, I did this for a long time with the mini ink blending tools. So, I kept them in their original packaging until Altenew came out with the brush holder. So it's just nicer to display because I don't take them out of the boxes. Or I used to leave them out in the plastic tray in the box before. So let's go here. And thank you for joining. Hopefully we'll see you in the replay. Okay. Ooh, 822. We're just going to keep it going. So these are the flowers that we've ink blended. Mini ink blending tools, micro ink blending tools, and the detail blending brushes. And I'm just quickly playing with an arrangement here. Okay, I think we're getting somewhere. Let's move these off to my little tray. And I also cut the foliage layer that coordinates with Ornamental Poppies, which is this one. And I'll quickly mention that there are silhouette images on here that roughly tell you where you should place your ink blended images. That's if you want to, of course. It's just a really easy way to get your arrangement going. So all of the different varieties of sizes of poppy images are outlined on here, but I'm not going to do that on today's live. I'm going to do something a little bit more, you know, I didn't test this out, so hopefully I don't make any mistakes. But I only want to use certain foliage images to create like interesting movement on my arrangement here. So I'm fragmenting this arrangement, trying to decide like what I want to showcase and emphasize. And I'm like mentally trying to map out all of these images right now. So that's why you're seeing it sort of shake out in a different way. Okay. I feel like it needs something else. Let's get this one off of here. I'm glad you asked this. I'm just gonna put this off to the side as I mention. Folks seem to, I see a lot more folks actually put it bristle side up. I made these labels so that I could quickly reference them, and which is why I have them bristle down. It is a little bit of a snugger fit, and does it make my bristles point backwards sometimes? Yeah, but it's just what works for me so that I can see all my colors laid out here. So whichever way works for you, but I think people put bristles up so that the ink doesn't go into the cavities, but to me that doesn't really matter as much as it does like visual, as much as I just want to quickly visually reference all of my blending tools. So decisions, I cannot decide. What if I cut this one off? Like the shape, I like what's happening. Okay. Oh, how many of you use the really big blending brushes from Altenew or the set of 4 small? Oh, we will get there, Carrie. Hold on. We will mention that. So on these real quick, this is where I'm going to use my mini ink blending tools again. And this is cut from Grassfield, which is in the Green Valley family of inks. And I want to create a little bit more of a dramatic blend with this. So I'm going to the deepest value of ink, quickly swiping this color on top of Grassfield to create some dramatic blends. On here. Same with this. Beautiful. Okay. Yeah, it seems like there's a mix of bristles up or bristles down, and you know, it's whatever works in your situation. Oops. Let's see. So we did the flowers, we did the leaves. One last thing that we'll jump to real quick is the background. And this is where I brought in the larger and mini blending tools. So what I did on this panel, this is a panel of lavender fields. And it looks like Kathy also uses different sizes for specific instances. Yeah, I feel like there isn't really a one size fits all, but I do have a big preference for the mini ink blending tools. It's just what I reach for often. It's because I like to color my images, my ink blended cardstock. What is in your water bottle you use to rinse the sticky mat? So I use a solution of soapy water. It's just a little bit, this is what size? 250 milliliters. So I want to say about is that half a cup? I'm not sure. Maybe 3/4 of the cup or 1 cup in here. And it's like so little soap in here. I can't even quantify it, honestly. Less than a teaspoon in here, and then the rest is water. Mix it up real nice, gently swirl it, and it's enough to take off ink from my sticky mat grid to clean my filming surface, clean photopolymer stamps. I use it for everything, and I just love the squirt bottle on this one. So on here, we're gonna create a little vignette. So with Deep Iris, same color family as the Lavender Fields cardstock, I want to create a little halo of lavender fields in the center and deepen the area around it. And this is the large ink blending tool. I wish I had more of these. This is also one that I'm building my collection for. I kind of want like a light, medium, dark, medium, and dark range of value of inks or a value of brushes for each the color families, kind of like what I have going on with my mini ink blending tools, but we just haven't made it there yet. As far as the large ink blending tool, I think the large ink blending tool is perfect for panels like this. You know, Christina Warner, she loves to do that, like those large ink blended panels. And that's what I like using these for, the large ink blending tools. I think you get so much more of a smoother blend, and I'm a hard ink blender. So I think it's just so much more forgiving with the dense bristles, and you know, it really picks up a lot more ink than other brushes. And stuff like that. So, sorry, ink blending and talking. I didn't think that was going to be the hardest thing for me to do today. Okay, so we've got a slight halo in the center of the cardstock that's uncolored. So that's what I'm going to use the large blending tool for. I'm going to switch down to Andromeda now, which is in a different color family. It's an Enchanted Garden. I wanted like a bluer shift of ink, and to really make sure that I don't go too far in with this deeper color, this is where I'm going to use the small blending brush. So I have 2 sets of the small ink blending brushes, and I have this box that I've hoarded, and it fits the four of them perfectly. And I just put little dots on them for red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, black, and brown. And it's just worked for me over the years. Um, so that's what I'm going to use on here. Like, the difference between this and the mini ink blending tool for instances where I'm applying color like this is the bristles are longer on here, so I feel like I get a little bit more of a smoother blend for gradients like this, especially where I'm concentrating like deep colors in smaller areas. It makes more sense to me to use the small ink blending tools, which is why I don't have too many of them, because I concentrate much more darker colors with this brush. So we'll keep working Andromeda, trying to get that smooth blend and really focus a highlight right here in the center. And I had some boo-boos while I was ink blending the first time. Again, I'm a hard ink blender. I just really want to press on these bristles, but at least on these small blending brushes, because the bristles are longer, I feel like I can get much smoother blends, you know? And if I don't like it, then you know what? We're just going to cover it up with splatter anyway. Okay, let's see. Oh, yes. I see what you're talking about. Her larger 6x9 stencils. Perfect for that, yeah. And I've used them the large ink blending tools whenever I showcased her collection as well. So. Sorry. How do you clean your detailed blending brushes between colors? I do that same thing. I take like a little bit of soap, use my hand, rub the bristles on my hand, and then let them dry flat. I try not to put them where the brush, somebody mentioned it, where the bristles are pointing up. Then the water runs into the ferrule, might disintegrate the glue. It just helps preserve the longevity of them. But for instances like this, I have the bristles down on like a paper towel or something, or a washcloth that I can throw in the wash again. And that's how I wash my brushes. So in the hand, just kind of work this back and forth, get it all sudsy. You know, rinse a few times, also scrub on my hand again, and then store them like I mentioned. So. And I'll admit, I don't do it a lot. So I kind of just let the ink do what it's going to do. Still blending Andromeda, trying to really make sure I'm getting a lot of depth on this. And the thing about inks in general, it doesn't matter if it's the fresh dye inks or the premium dye inks, crisp dye inks, sorry if you don't have the new formula, is, you know, they're going to dry back a little bit lighter. And depending on your cardstock, they're going to dry back, you know, in ways that you don't initially see. So if you're kind of feeling like a cardstock blend or a blend is not giving you what you want, give it some time, let it dry back. Might surprise you that it'll end up leveling out. So I'm going to leave this as it is for what it is right now. That was Andromeda and Deep Iris on top of Lavender Fields cardstock. And then we can start assembling this yay. Say goodbye to Wilbur. And we will start assembling this on here. Looks like we have about 30 minutes left in our evening together. Hopefully I can finish this in time. There is a brush sale. I'll mention that in a few moments here. Let me get rid of this one real quick. Oh, I didn't mean to remove it. Oh, Jaycee. Meant to unpin it. Give that one to you all. And then this one I will pin. Alrighty. Oh, I just saw a comment about stencils. I also use this to clean my stencils. Oops. Sorry, I meant to select this one. It's a little small, so I'll read it. I know you will call me a purist, but I don't apply water to my brushes at all. I grab a stencil and use as much as I can of the ink to create masks and clean the brush at the same time. So, yeah, that works too. I like it because you get a nice softer blend of ink on there. So, yes. Don't forget the code. On here. So that's what I just threw in the chat. There is a brush sale for both of you. So make sure you use my code on that so that you can pick up all the brushes that you see today. And I'll review that in just a moment. So let's, oh, I forgot my sentiment. Let's prepare that real quick. This is Charming Flowers Outline Stamp Set, and it's coordinating die. I wanted to use this little banner here and experiment with a sentiment banner. So I know I only used a little portion of this, but I took the Just a Note and the little banner die that's in here, created the sentiment, and I'm just going to stack these together. Kind of wanted the sentiment to be a little sturdier, and I also want to create a drop shadow. I stamped this Just a Note sentiment with Andromeda ink. And this is just another die cut banner of brushed gold cardstock. And I'll create a little drop shadow with this, which I think will look nice this way. Just like, oops. Just want a little suggestion of this in the bottom right, like that. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, get that off of here. Now let's start assembling this. This was going to be my little base image on here, and hopefully you can see the image that, or the vision I was trying to create was like this glowing lantern right here in the center, adorned with these flourishes from these frilly elements from Ornamental Poppies. And yeah, we'll just glue these down. Hopefully I remembered where I wanted them. No lights behind the lantern this time. Hopefully the glowing motion is enough to illuminate this card. Ah, love. Okay, let's keep going. And thank you. Oh, sorry, and I was addressing this earlier. No lights behind the lantern. And you all did name my sticky matte grid Wilbur, so it's kind of just stuck because it's pink from all the ink on it, and it doesn't affect its performance. It just shows that I use it all the freaking time. Gluing that to there. Okay, love that. Let's give it a little bit more of a curl. Cute. Okay, well, we're going to be here forever if I try to manipulate this too much. Oh, I lost my feed again. Let's go back to this other window. Oh my goodness, 119. Thank you so much for joining me this evening as we, you know, wrap up the last 20 minutes here. Should we foam mount that? Let's foam mount that. This is my very small roll of the Instant Dimension foam tape. I need more, obviously. Or do I have another roll? I do have another roll, thank goodness. I'm using the thinner one. This is the 1/16 inch by 1/2 inch wide Instant Dimension foam tape. And I'll use it to pop up the lantern. Just a little bit because I want the flowers to be on top. Just a few strategic pieces here and there. I do need to place an order as well. This is not how much you get. You get a much bigger roll of foam tape. Where is it? Let me show you what it actually looks like. I don't want you all to be misled. This is how much you actually get. Oh, that's the wrong size. Come on. Work with me. That's the wrong size too. Oh no. I'm gonna drop them all. Okay. This is about roughly how much you get. So you can see. I've used quite a bit. And that's like my third roll. So this is so funny. It's like I need to display one for moments where I have to show it that's unopened, and then I should show you the one I'm actually using. Okay, let's center this on here. Please. Okay, love that. Let's keep embellishing this. I think I'm gonna love that right there. Let's give this a little curl. I know I could use the petal palette to curl this ahead of time, but I think I'm just gonna, oops. Where are the rest of my flowers? They're right here. I'm gonna do a quick dry fit. Of these elements. Oh my gosh, I love this. Okay. This is going to become a nice little cabinet card. Okay, yeah, that's going to work. Let's glue this down. I'm pretty sure I have another one. I promise. I think. Where did I put it though? I'm gonna have to find it. And again, this is Ornamental Poppies with Ornamental Lantern. I was using all the ornamental things, apparently. I'm just going to glue this down right on top, let it sort of float. I'll also let this one float actually. Let me use the thicker one. This is the 1/8 inch thick instant dimension foam tape, so it'll give me a little bit more height above the lantern. Just like that. I love this in so many places though. Can't. Do I love that there? Ooh, maybe I like it up here. And yep, I love it up here. Okay, we're gonna put that up there instead. See, we will do this all evening if you let me. Love, okay. And then we're gonna put this down here. Okay. I almost didn't put these smaller pieces when I first die cut them, but something told me I was gonna regret that. To fill in some colorful areas. And we'll put this one down here. Cute. Okay, and then we're gonna put the sentiment here. Yes, okay. But of course, that can't be the end, right? We have to embellish this card. Let's get our metallic watercolor pan set. Now this is one like I've had since the beginning. And like this palette is enough to last a lifetime. Like I use it solely for splatter. And it's like I barely touched it. To mimic the gold pigment, Enchanted gold pigment, I'll use the Enchanted gold metallic watercolor. Just so that everything matches. Here's the water brush. We'll just use a fine-tipped water brush. I have the one from Altenew. There's no water in it. I just like the synthetic bristles of it. I feel like it gives me the best spring and splatter. And I want to do that before I add my sentiment because I've made that mistake too many times where I get splatter on my sentiment. And we'll just add this everywhere. Because why not? It's so much of it too. Ah, beautiful. Love. Put that away. Where are we at? Before I finish this, I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Yep, that's right. Hopefully it's not a cabinet card. We'll see. There is a brush sale. Hold on. Let me get there. Yes. And just like Janie mentioned, I do have a discount code. It's the listing is in the description box as well. So we'll get there as well. Where are we going? Okay. I can't seem to get the code to work. Let me get you, we'll let it come up in just a second. Let me just glue this down. I'm gonna use the different size of the instant dimension foam tape. This is the 1/4 inch wide by 1/8 inch thick instant dimension foam tape. And I'm gonna raise this sentiment up. And it's like I put this little spot on here for a reason. Just kidding, I did not really plan this card. Is that straight? Is my card straight? There we go. Ah, okay, it needs sequins. Hold on. Champagne sequins. Just a little bit more shine on here. All the sequins. Oh no, it's clogged. There's the other one. So many sequins. Oh no, that was too much. Too much glue. So, it is okay. Thank you for explaining my cabinet card. It is very... it sounds really bad. But it is honestly stuck with me. Yeah. We called them cabinet cards because I have all of my cards in the cabinets behind me. And, you know, I do have to send them to Altenew. So I keep them in there. And if they don't make, you know, they only want certain ones sent to them. But if I made some projects that, you know, were from different releases or they're not current and I don't need to send them to the Altenew warehouse, they live in this cabinet until I want to purge them. And so they go to my coworkers, but I keep all the ones that I really like. I have to really like them. So then it was sort of a joke that like my coworkers got the rejects. Because that's where they purge to, is I bring them to work because I feel like you need them so much more often at work. Otherwise, they just sit here in my house. And admittedly, I need to do a better job of sending mine too, because you all have sent me beautiful cards. And I try to send them back to you all. And you all get the ones that I really like. So you all get the cabinet cards, is what we call it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, great. That's all the sequins. That was fun, y'all. Let's clean off the surface, do a better reveal of this card with all the ink blending tools. Clean up the surface a little bit. So yes, this was the showcase of all of the ink blending tools from Altenew. So there are 5 different varieties. I used the Ornamental Poppies and Ornamental Lantern set to stipple pigment ink, to create really roughly textures on the poppy images, to create really dynamic and depth shadows on the poppy leaves. And then I used the large and small ink blending tools to create our nice little halo to help frame this whole illuminated arrangement. So, I hope I didn't miss anything else. Sorry, the chat is just going because there's so many of you than before. Thank you to Mitzi for, you know, helping me out on here. And I did want to mention some other things since we're still on, you know, the topic is there was this discount code. So it's the Ultimate Ink Blending Tool Bundle. The bundle is already put together and you'll want to use the discount code here, which is Jaycee Live 7 or the one that I've got pinned. And if you go to this, my description box below this live, you'll be taken directly to the area, the product, and it'll automatically apply my discount code. So if you find that area, it says live stream discount exclusive or something like that. Hold on, let me just make sure I'm not lying. it says live stream discount. If you click on that link that's in there, that'll automatically apply the discount for you. And so when I tried it myself, I added 2 of these to my cart. And if you are a US customer, that automatically gives you free shipping because you exceeded $100. But you get everything that you see here. So it's the large ink blending tool, a set of small ink blending tools. Above me are the detail blending brushes, a set of the mini blending brush set, which is 4 of them of the same size. And then on the far side, oh my goodness, point, Vanna White it, Jaycee, the far side with the 10 on the 7 on them, those are the micro blending brushes. So I used all of them on today's card. You know, there are many instances where, you know, you might find some that are more suitable than others for what you're making, but I use all of them. And of course, I'll admit they're fantastic. Like I said, if I was stranded on a crafting deserted island and I had to bring 3 things, one of them would be Wilbur, my sticky matte grid, my Altenew tweezers, and then this mini ink blending tool set. If I could bring all of the ones that I have here, that would be even better. But then in addition to all the other crafty items, like I would have everything I need to create a card. So that's that. That's the main discount that Altenew is so, you know, generous with supplying with you all. So yeah, thank you to Mitzi and the Altenew team for sharing this live stream discount with you all. So this starts today, and then it goes until February 20th while supplies last. So make sure you grab this deal while you can. In addition to this, there was a little bit of a mention of the ink pads. So the price will increase on Friday as well. So if you want to pick up blending brushes, pick up your fresh dye ink pads as well before the price increases. Now's a good time because then you still get free shipping on that if you exceed $100 US. And then there's the 40% off the Solid Sentiments complete bundle. Great sentiment set. It coordinates with the Better Press system, which of course you can hot foil with. And then the weekly Crafty sale discount. And that's my card. See right there. That was a cabinet card for a long time as well. I think I ended up giving that to my husband. Anyway, was that everything that I had for that? Oh yeah, here's that discount again. Jaycee Live 7. Please use it. It's only here to help you all out. So, okay. Schedule real quick. The next live right here, Vanna White, come on Jaycee, right here, is 2/25/2026. So next Wednesday, it'll be 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So it is 2.5 hours. Right? Did I do the math right? It's earlier than what I usually go live with. So make sure, you know, hit the notify button, go to my channel, go to my posts, and you'll find a thumbnail that's slightly different than the rest of my other thumbnails. And that's the live that I have with Altenew for the Secret Garden Retreat. So I will be taking one of the products from the Secret Garden kit that I'm not teaching during the live, and I'll make a card from it. So you don't want to miss that one because it's a big reveal. Well, it's the kit has already been revealed, but you get a much more in-depth look on that kit. And then I'm just not sure if I will go live again on my regular schedule after this one because I just don't know. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it. But if the microphone's working great, then, you know, hopefully it'll all go well. So, oh, and Mitzi says I'll be moderating that live too. So, yay. We'll have Mitzi there, and I think my dynamic duo partner is also going to be there. Of course, the wonderful Bridget Casey. So, yes. Ooh, 901. We went over a little bit. So, schedule, discount codes, and yeah, we'll have one last look at the card here. Again, everything is linked in the description box. So, I don't want to take up too much more of y'all's time on that. So I appreciate you all joining me this evening. It's been a treat as always. Thank you so much for interacting with me in the chat. Thank you again to Mitzi in the Clouds for helping me moderate this live session and for supplying the discount code to you all. Like this live stream, subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I like to go live and I also post pre-recorded content and sometimes some shorts. So, okay, I'll see you right back here next Wednesday at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And I hope you all have a good night and a good evening. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you.